And I'm Mike.
And this is Comedy Filmmakers Motivation Monday.
The podcast.
And I'm Carl.
Carl's back.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I am good.
How's your week been?
It's been a good week. It was my birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
And I celebrated. I celebrated my BDAY.
I was there.
Yeah, you were.
Oh, is that the thing that I was at?
Yeah. That's what we were doing.
That's what it was?
Yeah.
I thought there was a lot of people for like a normal Sunday in your backyard.
Do you feel older and wiser? How are you feeling now?
I'm feeling older. I'm feeling wiser.
You're looking younger.
I'm feeling, and I'm feeling like I'm ready to crush
it.
everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm feeling motivated.
Hell yeah. Well,
this is
happy
Comedy Filmmakers Motivation Monday. Thank you, Sid.
You're welcome.
The podcast.
Yay.
And we talk about our life as comedy filmmakers, as creative people out here in the world, making it happen, figuring it out, not clear on our path. Our path is in flux. Some would say that maybe our path is in peril because we can't pitch our show anymore because the Writers Guild is striking, which we fully support.
Even these episodes have gone off the rails because they used to be pre-written and now they're not. So
Yep.
I will say
if
this.
we could get a shot of the teleprompters down here, they're blank.
Yeah.
they're just...
Well, we can't get a shot of the teleprompters because the cameras are behind the teleprompter. We still have the
Good
teleprompters.
Yeah,
line.
we didn't sell the teleprompters, and the studio stays set up like this all through the week. We just come in and flip on a switch and sit down and do the episode.
Yeah, we got it down to one switch.
And then after A block, the guest shows up. We give her or him their gift or them their gift bag.
Yeah,
and
when I live here in the space, I just work around all the gear.
Yeah,
I live around all the gear.
Wait, you live here?
Say.
You live here?
Yeah.
Oh,
this place is nice.
Except for the studio inside of it. Like that, I would get rid of that.
Yeah.
Like that, you need to live your best life, Sid. That's not
No,
it.
I love sleeping in the studio because so if you sleep in studios, it's just like so quiet.
Wait, do you turn the cameras on and like live feed to an OnlyFans?
You know who else? You know who else used to sleep in the studio? Lady Gaga.
Well,
That's true.
You're in great company, Sid.
Jewel used to sleep in a car. So
and her soul was
that's
saved
a throwback reference for
by herself.
Some of you 90s kids out there listening to Comedy Filmmakers Motivation Monday. We're going to bring the energy back up because we're talking this week about our week and we're motivating each other about what we need motivation on.
Yes.
I'm going to start. I have been writing. I've been working on the same script that I was working on last week. I've made a lot of progress. It's too long now, which is fun.
Right where you want to be.
I have a hard time, killing the darlings, as they say.
Send it to me.
Cutting jokes. The track record would have something to say about that. So I guess my motivation is that I need is I want a little motivation to finish this draft and then go and spend some time slicing and dicing and getting it down to the length that it needs to be.
It's all about prioritizing, dog. You got to prioritize the time. You have to say tomorrow from 9 to 10, I'm going to put my phone away and the world away, and I'm going to sit and I'm going to work on this script, and that's a priority for me today.
My advice is
Thank you,
that
Sid.
yes, that was amazing. My advice is
I've been listening to this podcast. And, anyway.
What's it called?
Comedy Filmmakers Motivation Monday. It's so crazy.
There's another podcast called Comedy Filmmakers Motivation Monday.
It's this one.
You listen to this podcast?
I do.
Oh,
That's
wow.
our listener.
That's our listener.
Mike, what were you going to tell
My
Carl?
advice for you is, okay, you've already done the hardest part. You did the two hardest parts. The first hardest part is getting started. We know how hard it is to get started. Then you did the second part, which is getting a first draft done. That's
not done with the first draft. But anyway, go on.
You're too done. You're too done with the first. You've got too much. That's the best place. That's where you want to be.
I've got too much and I'm not done. That's the problem.
Oh,
There's more to come.
You know what?
that's great. You're right where you want to be. Look, this sounds like something.
I'm starting to sweat.
This sounds like something that could be a two-parter. Whoa, this is where Tarantino had something that was too long and incomplete. You know what that was called? Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2.
Carl, you said it was your birthday and you're going to crush it. So I'm just going to say, can go out there and crush it and go write the rest of that script and go write.
Thank you.
That's it.
Both great pieces of advice. Two great pieces of advice from Sid, Mike.
I don't. Anyway.
Okay. So we've covered that you're right where you want to be.
Mike,
Yeah,
do you
said that.
do you need advice? It's kind of sounding like you might need some advice at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. How's your week? What's going on?
I'm having a tough time giving advice to people or like motivating other people. No, that's not right.
It's because it starts from within. So are you
Wow.
motivating yourself or are you being, how are you talking to yourself? Because that's ultimately how you're going to talk to others.
You know what? Honestly, I've been much better about that. I've been better at talking to myself good. And I feel like I'm finally out of that area of like, just like
the negative zone.
it wasn't, I mean, I guess it was negative. It was just like comparing myself to other, or like thinking I should be in a different place than I am. And then which leads you to not being able to enjoy the things that are coming that are good. You know, I kind of like would talk myself out of good things that have happened to me and be like, and find logical reasons why it wasn't, it's a small part or, you know, you know, like, I got a call back, but I didn't book it. You know, it's like
the shadow.
Those types of
You're
things.
talking about the shadow, the other side of ourself that's telling us that it's not enough.
I feel like I don't know, something's happening.
Embrace the shadow and then let those negative feelings go is what I think Carl Jung would say.
Yeah.
If he were here.
Okay.
But you've only
but
got
the thing
Carl
that- the-
Conway McGuire. The
thing-
guy with the middle name that came to blame.
Whoa.
Okay. Mike.
Hey, Conway.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, Mike.
This is all your fault, Conway.
Listen.
Yes. That wasn't. I'm good there. The thing I need motivation on.
Bring it on.
So I'm working on a job, and
Working 9 to 5.
they are the WGA is picketing, and the production is trying to get us to cross that line. They're trying to get us to cross the
scab
picket
culture.
line. They're trying to get us to cross the line. And I'm trying to stay strong. I believe that it is that I need to remain in solidarity with my union brothers and sisters. And you know what? I also need money. So it can be a challenge to be like,
Which union would you rather be a part of? The Writers Guild or whichever one you're in?
whichever. Definitely the Writers Guild.
All right, so you need to act as if you're part of the Writers Guild already.
Yes.
You have to act as if your future self, not this self now. I know you need money, so I'm never.
But I'm
gonna
also
talk
in
in-
SAG, so there is
And they
that.
might go on strike too.
Yeah, man.
As of, like by
I'll
the
be
time
on
we
strike.
Pickle.
I'm gonna be on strike.
by the time we put
How
this,
can SAG perform if there's nothing to perform that's been written?
That's right.
That's right.
I'm in support, man. I think that I'd love to see the writers get what they deserve. I think they deserve more. I think that they deserve a living, working wage. I think that nobody that's writing in a writer's room on a popular and a show on a major network or streaming service should have to have a second gig job just to survive. I think that's bullshit. And I think that we all have to stand together. I motivated myself.
I love when that happens on this show.
I'm really proud of you, Mike.
That's when the motivates the motivator. The motivator.
Well, it was Sid.
motivating
She
the
started it
motivator.
off. She
Well,
started it
I'm
off.
also going to be, sending out the vibes that you get the paycheck, but you also stand in solidarity with the WGA. So you can have both. They're not mutually exclusive. There is a world. There is a potential out there where you can do it all.
Hey, survival is a form of protest.
I actually think that getting inside and work and showing up, but not actually, but not being willing to cross the picket line. So then they have to pay you. That is actually creating more of an urgency for the producers because they're hemorrhaging cash. They're paying all the crew, but they're not getting anything done.
Hey, y'all, if any of you don't know about the WGA strike right now, I suggest that you Google it, take a little read, and get to know what's up.
Yeah. And if you're a writer,
this could be mind-boggling to some people. Like,
It's
what
true.
are you talking about?
get
The
some
picket
context.
line,
We
crossing
refuse.
it.
Also, when this comes out, the strike's going to be over. We're
Right.
all going to be back to work. We'll all be in the WGA.
Yeah.
And the writers will get what they want as long as they stay the course,
Yes.
which is our topic of the week. Staying the course. And we're going to jump right in. So
I really don't need any motivation this week. I have been motivating myself. Thank you very much.
Sid, I just want to say, honestly, that I have seen you motivating yourself, and you're doing a great fucking job at it. You are staying so self-motivated. How many times did you do yoga with Adrian this week?
I did a lot, but
Did you jump on the trampoline this week?
I didn't, and not to bring Crohn's disease up, but I'm going to bring it up because it's been a real part
Here
of
we
my
go.
life
this
recently.
is the part of the podcast.
This is, once I started talking about it last week, I felt like, but when
The floodgates opened?
Yeah, yeah. But
Can you say that?
But honestly, when you don't feel good physically, I think sometimes you're reminded of like how you treat your body. You slow down enough in a way to remember how to take care of yourself and what maybe you took for granted. For me, like would take for granted when I felt really good or I felt energetic and all these things. So I think it's just a little bit of a mind shift. And I think your physical body correlates with your mental health and your emotional health. And sometimes when you physically don't feel good, it's a sign that you need to slow down and get all those things lined up, baby. And even though it sucks, I'm doing that. And it's definitely helping. I've been writing and I've been just being more of a creative person in general. And it's a full-time job to catch those thoughts and change them and shift them. And
Hell yeah. So before we move on, we need to rebrand that
Right.
the
Listeners.
check-in. Now you guys have pitched me a bunch of different rebranding ideas for what we were calling the Peloton check-in. We're rebranding that. You guys have
hey, Mike,
pitched me. Yeah.
did you exercise at all this week?
Well, I'm getting to that.
Oh.
I'm getting to that. But you guys have you guys have pitched.
Oh, I have an idea. Can we talk about the workout stuff?
yeah. So you guys pitched me weighing in with Mike, which I don't know. That sounds like you're about to weigh me. Chubby check-in. You
Whoa.
pitched me that.
He's fucking Michael Che-ing us
Wait,
right
no,
now.
you pitched
Check-in.
the Fatty Fridays with Mike. Yeah.
We just
I'm not
thought-
going to stand for this.
We thought maybe an extra day of the,
The husky
pod would be good.
The husky hookup. I was like, whoa.
I just want to open the email. I want to direct your attention at the bottom of every email that I ever send. There's a long blurb that says every idea in here is the private property of Carl Conway McGuire Esquire, and you are reading them right now publicly on our live podcast.
Yeah.
Do you realize that?
I didn't sign no NDA.
Yeah, but you violated. I'm taking you to court because these are all those pitches.
You want these pants? Coming for these pants?
I want those pants. All right, over this.
You can't have these pants.
Those are valuable pants.
I know I haven't been introduced yet, but Chubby Check-in is so good.
All right. Here we go. So the chubby
It's
check-in
been
with Mike.
Focus group tested now.
All right, here we
Sid-
go. Doing the check-in dance.
Sid, that was your idea.
It's
wasn't
doing
it?
like a truffle shuffle.
Yeah,
If you're
if
just
you-
listening
that's
and you're
true.
not watching, it's like a Goonies-esque truffle shuffle
Do it.
dance
You gotta
move.
tell. You gotta yell at me to do it.
Do it.
No, I don't want to do the chubby check-in. No, I'm not gonna do the chubby
All right,
check-in.
fine.
I can't be a part of this.
Yeah.
Whoa, it's okay, guys. Like
I don't want to watch that.
that. I thought that you were talking about all those horrendous names. I thought you were talking about all the horrendous names that you pitched me for but the chubby check-in is what it is, and we love it. We love it now.
Yeah. And
Do you?
There will be that from now on. And
Maybe.
actually,
well,
do I smell a spinoff?
Yeah.
Like maybe there's a
Yeah.
whole whole hour and a half podcast where we just
All right,
do the
guys.
chubby
Do
check-in.
you want to hear it? Did I do it?
Yeah.
I went to the gym 5 times last week.
What'd you do there?
I ate pie. no. I did.
Drank my protein shake and watched what everybody else was doing.
Yeah. I gawked at the ladies. No, I didn't.
Caught up on Mark Maron.
Yeah. No, I did. I went 5 times.
How do you feel?
Sore, very sore, but I feel good. I feel like I finally turned over that leaf, and maybe it's all thanks to Brock Lesnar.
Right, the professional wrestler who's now our number one sponsor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's got a product out called Brock Shot.
Yeah,
Brock
so
Lesnar.
I did 6.
Cool
all of a
stuff.
sudden, I woke up one day and I my first thought was, I feel like I want to go to the gym. And I was like,
What?
I was like, yeah.
Run with it.
I
yeah.
was like, what the hell was that? Who's in here? I was ready to fight.
Yeah.
And then instead, I took that energy, that fighting energy, I took it to the gym.
Yeah, it's similar like when I wake up and I'm sitting down and I'm like, I really want to write this thing in this script right now. It's like drop everything and do it. You better do it. If your brain is like telling you to go work out or write or like make a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah,
like, do that shit.
that's the key. If you can in that moment, do it. And then something. I mean, it might be those Brock shots. I don't know, but it's made me. Or for some reason, I've been feeling like I want to go to the gym, and I've just been doing it. So I went.
Hell yeah, man. Hell
I'm really
yeah.
proud of you.
Hey, thank you.
You know what? Now I have such a positive connotation towards chubby check-in. We'll keep it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we love it. Little thing.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. On if you're just listening, so Mike threw his hands up in the air and he did sort of like a rainbow shape, and I think that he means for the editor to add like a graphic where his hands were that says the chubby check-in.
Yeah.
So like that would be like right here.
And
just
at the end of the rainbow is like a piece of fried chicken and like a barbell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. I love it.
Fried,
I love
deep
this.
fried barbell could combine the two things. Chubby chicken.
Chubby chicken.
The chubby chicken check-in.
I think that maybe Carl. I'm hearing a voice. I don't know who's in here.
Yeah.
But
I know.
I feel like maybe we should find out.
We should. Let's take a little break and let's come back and find out what the hell's going on.
Hi, I'm Chubby.
Hi,
Chubby! Come on down to Chubby Chicken Cheddar House, where we got chubby chickens with cheddar all over them, and we got hot sauce for days.
I love cheddar chicken.
Of course you do.
Chubby chicken's my favorite.
Hey, Chubby, can I get pickles on mine?
You absolutely can get pickles. It comes with relish, it comes with sauerkraut, and it comes with...
You got the special sauce?
It comes with Chubby's special sauce.
Now let's talk about that special sauce, Chubby.
You know Chubby doesn't like to talk about his special sauce.
Why not?
Chubby, are you being nasty?
Well, because that's a secret. It's Chubby's secret nasty sauce.
My mom loves Chubby's special sauce.
No, you mean Chubby's secret nasty sauce?
Yeah.
Your mom loves it, of course. All moms love it. Come on down to Chubby Checkers Chicken Shack.
See you soon, Chubby.
Come on down to Chubby's Chicken on Highway 17. Open late.
I really am a little confused by that sponsor because this is the first time I've heard the commercial copy. They gave us $250,000 to play that commercial one time.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it was written before the strike and no one's ever wanted to, I guess,
It's a
sponsor
chicken
with
restaurant in backwoods. I don't even know where it is. They didn't even say their location.
Highway 17. Highway 17. We got to look up. Well, people that live near Highway 17 probably know exactly where that place is.
What is cheddar chicken?
Sounds delicious.
It's pretty explanatory, I think, isn't it?
Well,
It's chicken with cheddar on it.
all right. I want to talk to our guest because I know we barely scratched the surface of our topic, and I want to really dig in because I think it's going to be a fun one to really pick apart in some ways. So, and you guys might have heard some faint noises in the room before, but not known where they were coming from. Well, I'll tell you, she's a director and a performer who's been working and creating as an indie filmmaker in Brooklyn since 2007. She went through the UCB ringer, and she was also a part of our beloved Video Mass Film Collective since the very beginning in 2012, and now she's a working commercial director. We're talking to Tessa Greenberg.
Hey!
Hello!
Shine your shoes.
Yes! Just needed a shoe shine.
Hey, Penny.
Penny for your thoughts.
Welcome.
Hi.
So you were in London.
Yes, I just flew back this morning. Hello. Thank you for having I'm so
Thank you for being here.
excited.
Yay! We're really happy you're here.
Yeah,
we have a
it's
lot to
nice.
talk about.
We have a
do.
lot.
We go back. We have history and history in this room.
So you are working on commercials. You just posted a new one for Five Below.
Yes.
But you did the Universal Studios commercials
the theme parks
last year.
Mm-hmm.
That commercial is awesome.
Thank you.
Really good.
Roller coasters. Who knew?
Yeah.
Fun stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's roll it back then. Let's talk Video Mass because we've talked about it a few times on the podcast, but you were a part of our friend group collective filmmaking friend group collective thing.
Right.
That's how we all met. That's how we met. I met you on some other film set right before. There was another indie one.
Right.
But it wasn't, Video Mass hadn't been born yet.
True.
But yeah, we were scrappy filmmakers doing our thing, putting our stuff together.
I met you, I believe, on screen. You were on screen. You and Jared did Spooky Fest. The
West High Story.
was that the second one?
Lovey Jammers.
Where you,
the
second Spooky Fest where you were the severed heads.
Oh,
on
Severed Heads.
Yeah,
yes.
that was, I think, I hadn't even met you, and that was, I saw that, and I was like, "Who is this?"
And I was in a wig too.
Yeah, but you have a definite screen presence and an ease, and you're so hilariously funny. And you guys are actually a fantastic duo. Jared was our third guest. Go back and watch that one.
Love Jared.
Listen to that one. You guys are a duo, a force to be reckoned with. And we know a thing too about duos.
Oh yeah, I love working with Jared. He's always been wonderful to write with and perform with. And for many years we had like holiday themed shorts that we would make. We did. I of course was like about to talk about the one we did for Martin Luther King Day that we took down from YouTube around like 2020 because we were like, maybe as two white-ish people we shouldn't have done a video.
I mean, you're white adjacent.
Oh no, I'm white. He's half Puerto Rican. Jewish is, people like to claim it as a ethnicity, but it's not, I'm just white. It's fine. But no, yeah, apart from a bad Martin Luther King video, we made many good ones.
Yeah.
Jared and I.
Yeah, and that was it was fun. That was sort of an offshoot of Video Mass in a way, I feel like, in that you guys started making stuff so the very first Video Mass, the 5 short films that got played at the McKibben Lofts 2012 after Sandy hurricane. Yours was one of them. That was Bloody Maria, which was...
Oh, yes. West High Story.
Oh, yeah. Bloody Maria was the name of the weed that your characters smoked.
Yeah. No, those were the days, man. I mean, I know you've talked about Video Mass before, but yeah, it was such a great way to like come together as a group of friends. And instead of like trying to make something for someone else's film festival, we did a filmmaking festival. And I think at the time we pulled names out of a hat of like who was going to work together, right? Or maybe Jared and I knew we wanted to work together. I can't quite remember. But the prompts we pulled out of the hat at that horror filmmaking festival, Spooky Fest 1, was like location, hotel. We were like, great.
Well, it was actually, at the time, it was called the Great Spooky Fest because we didn't know there was going to be a Spooky Fest 2.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right.
That's a World War I joke.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the prompt that we pulled, which was hotel as a location. And I really can't remember the other prompts we pulled, but like we ended up taking the movie West Side Story, and we were like, let's do a film or like a stoner slasher where we get really high and the weed we smoked was bad. And then we get so high that we like go on a killing spree. And when I watch it now, I'm like, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. But at the time I was like, oh my God, this is the funniest thing I've ever made in my life.
Those are the best though when you feel that way about them.
I know.
I feel like that feeling right there is the key to the topic that we're kind of on, which is stay the course.
Yeah.
Because that's part of the reason I wanted to go all the way back to like Video Mass, and we can even talk about stuff before that, is to talk about like, we've been doing this a long time. And I think one thing you hear, I feel like you hear it a lot, especially in comedy, is that the people who make it are the people who stick around and keep trying and keep working. And I think that is only true. I would love to see the actual numbers, because I'm certain
who doesn't drop out, who
right.
does drop out.
And it's definitely natural to go back and look. Like I look at some of the stuff that we made in the beginning. at the time.
Right.
I was like, this is the best thing.
Yeah. And
but that shows evolution, and
it should.
you have a lot under your belt.
Yeah.
And a lot of you've been in front of the camera, behind the camera, as a writer, as you wear so many hats.
When did you first start making stuff?
It'd be easy to say like when I was a kid, which is true. I mean, literally when my dad had the old school camcorder, that every dad in the 80s and 90s had, I would be like, can I play with this? And for some reason he let me.
Yeah.
And I remember
full
when
size VHS tapes?
Yes, full size. I think it was an
Great
RCA camcorder, VHS camcorder. And I'd have friends come over and they'd be like, what do you want to do? And I'd be like, let's play movies. Like, let's, and I would make commercials in my kitchen with whatever was in the refrigerator. We would have like, my family was a Promise Margarine family. I don't know if anyone else.
Shout out to Promise Margarine. We're trying to get them as a
Sponsored by
sponsor.
Promise, yeah. But I remember like grabbing the margarine out of the fridge and being like, what we were doing before with the sponsor being like, hey, we're here with Promise Margarine, and then playing the other part as well.
Life really came full circle for you.
Yeah, that was so funny. And then in college, I originally went to study theater thinking I wanted to be an actor. And I looked around at all the other musical theater majors who are lovely people, but I was like, I don't want to hang out with you. And I picked up a camera and I just started bringing it everywhere I went and started teaching myself how to video edit on like iMovie and then Final Cut Pro, and was really just making weird videos before YouTube was even a thing. Like there was nowhere to put them. I would just make them and show them to my friends. And I mean weird, like experimental weird videos and dressing up in thrift store outfits and fucking around. And then in like 2006, I was at a friend's house in the East Village. It's an apartment on East 3rd Street between A and B. And I didn't have a television at the time, but they did. And I was clicking around and I saw the Manhattan Public Access Channel, which still is Manhattan Neighborhood Network, aka MNN. People might know it from the Chris Gethard Show, etc. And I'm like watching, and it's all pretty bad. It's, public access. And I'm like, I could do this. So I like call them up and I'm like, hi, my name's Tessa. I was watching public access. How do you do a public access show? And they're like, well, go online and you can read the rules how. And it's just technical requirements. There's no like vetting process of creative content. It's just like, if you can hand in a mini DV tape that's under 30 minutes and doesn't have nudity and like the following words, we will air your show.
Really?
And I was like, ding, 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 ding. Mama's gonna be on TV.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I decided I was gonna make a show called Fun Club because I liked that name. I just had it popped in my head one day and I was like, who wouldn't want to be a part of a club called Fun Club?
Sign me up.
So I would make these episodes where everyone would have a theme like technology, and I'd write like a character that was obsessed with technology, and then I would get dressed up and put like tinfoil over myself and play that character. And then I'd ask my friends in theater school and the film program if they had anything they wanted to submit, and I'd like cut together these half-hour episodes, put them on, I'd walk down to 57th Street and 9th Avenue, hand in my tape in person. And then like a few weeks later at 11 o'clock on a Wednesday, they would play my public access show Fun Club.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
How did you get a slot? Did they tell you, do they assign you or you told them what you want?
I think I requested a slot like that. I wanted like cool late night hour. Yeah.
Those cool late nighters watching MNN,
public access.
I've been there.
Yeah.
But that was
How many
sort
of those did you do?
I think I only did like 3 because I was like, this is a lot of work. All self-produced. I was like filming myself, editing myself, making the music for it. But it was this total gateway to be like, right, it's not that I want to be an actor and just do theater. I want to make my own stories. I want to write my own stories.
How were you editing that at the time?
I was very slowly teaching myself Final Cut Pro, which was like Final Cut 5 at the time. I was just like asking friends for tips to teach me, and I like come over from iMovie. But yeah, it was like sort of the first project where I was like, oh, I like this medium. I like filmmaking, and I like digital filmmaking because it's accessible, as to where in theater, if I'm like, I have this idea, it's like to produce theater and get the space and get the people was a lot harder back then to just, rent or borrow a digital camera from someone and then go out and start shooting it and editing it myself. So I was like, well, fuck yeah, I think I figured out what I like to do. Too bad no one wants to pay me to do it.
When we first met, I feel like one of the more striking things about you, and this is probably true for a lot of people who meet you, is just like there's a part of your personality that's very animated and is very able to just jump into like the more silly side of comedy very comfortably and like without like fear about like, oh, is this going to look silly or whatever. It's like, I hope it does. And that's really cool. It's really refreshing. And I feel like I want to make a connection to the staying the course.
Yeah.
About like that personality and the love that you discovered for filmmaking, and then all of these hard years of actually trying to get something up. Because since then, you've pitched TV shows, you've had web series after web series, you've had these experiences. And so it's like, what is it that has kept the engine running?
Yeah, great question. And thank you. I feel like the first thing you said was a very lovely compliment, because one of the things I do like about being me is being silly. And I'm glad that you see that and that other people see that. And I feel like in a very earnest and pure way, for me, stay the course has been never let go of my inner child. Like that silliness, that willingness to just be like, me fart, Same bits I've been doing since I was fucking 2 years old. Fart jokes never get old to me.
Yeah.
Silly faces and sounds never gets old to me.
I mean, a butt monster is going to kill 100% of the time.
Favorite film I ever made, start a butt monster, I quite literally think that while some of my skill set has evolved and like become like 0.2% more sophisticated in terms of how I go about making films, my sense of humor and the things that make me laugh and smile have changed very little since I was a child. So the thing that has like been my North Star is, does it make me laugh? Does it bring me joy? Did it make a couple other people laugh? And like, did they seem intrigued and engaged and entertained? Cool, that's enough for me. Yeah. And like, sometimes it fails, but I wouldn't know unless I had tried, right? And for many years when I was younger, especially in my 20s and stuff, I was so hungry for it. I was just so hungry. It was insatiable for many years just to want to do it, to make short films, to make web series, to write stuff. And it was grueling. And, we were all there together in the trenches, doing it with no money and being broke off our asses. But at the time, I had the energy, I had the time. I didn't have the money, but, we were figuring it out anyway because it was an insatiable hunger and thirst for it. And this like need of catharsis to be like, I have this like silly, zany, creative energy in me and I need somewhere to put it.
When did you make a transition and start actually make a living doing it and finding a path? And what was that? What were those first things that you started making money, and then what were your jobs? Yeah, I mean, well, even though I always loved performing and still like being a clown, I love getting in front of the camera in a weird wig. I will always love that. It became apparent to me at some point in my mid-20s, late 20s, when I started to video edit a lot and I was getting asked to do more and more video editing and directing for people and friends, like music videos, sketch comedy. And I was getting asked less to act and stuff. And I don't think it's because I didn't have talent. I think it's because there was less people around that were doing the making, that were like, had the skill set of editing and directing and stuff. And I did, and I liked it. And I think eventually I found that I liked it a little more than being in front of the camera. Like,
I remember in a lot of those video mass, like kickoff meetings, people would be like, what do you need from me? I would love to act. We're like, that's the last thing I need.
Yeah, everybody wants to act.
Pick up any other thing.
Yeah.
And
and that's the thing, is sort of being like, okay, here's the thing. I'm a broke artist in my 20s, but there's this opportunity where I've taught myself how to video edit, and it seems like there's some money out there for it. And little by little, I started getting hired to, like at UCB. First I was a video editing intern there for a couple days a week. Then they hired me freelance to video edit for sketch comedy for their YouTube channel. And then they hired me full time. And then I started directing for UCB and editing. So like, it just sort of started happening where I was like, okay, this is now a career trajectory. Like, I've always loved the performing arts and filmmaking and out of writing, editing, directing, acting, the things that are coming to me the most are editing and a little bit of directing. So I need to pay the bills. I'm just going to keep doing that. Fuck yeah. I don't have to work 8 jobs at a coffee shop and babysitting anymore. Okay, cool. I'll do this because at UCB, for me at the time, it was really nice to be attached to something larger than myself, especially like UCB at the time was sort of like, you know, a mecca for comedy, and it was an institution, you know.
Yeah, it was growing a lot then.
Yeah, this was like 2012, 13.
They were definitely graduating the most people into the entertainment industry out of any
right.
Facility.
Yeah. And, you know,
so much so that there's no more room in the entertainment industry.
I know. Yeah. You know, say what you want about UCB. There's a lot of good and bad in all institutions, right?
Let's talk about the bad. No.
This is what we're here to do.
Let's dig in hard.
No, I mean, I totally drank the Kool-Aid. I was like, yes, this is where I want to be. I want to be around other funny people. And I did, you know, like, and, so that to me led to a little bit of, and it's not like I was getting paid well, but compared to getting paid zero or like coffee shop hours, you know, I was just excited to be there and do. And the beautiful thing that came out of that era was making comedy videos for UCB while also doing video math stuff with you guys, where it was like, okay, that stuff I'm kind of being hired to do. And sometimes it's like branded content for clients. And then video math with you guys was like, these are the passion projects. Yeah. This is where we flex our muscles and take big swings. And sometimes I fail. And sometimes I make something I think is going to be funny and it falls flat, but I learn from it, right? And that was all like portfolio development that I didn't even think about. I wasn't like, I'm 28, so I better develop my reel, right? I'm just like doing it because, again, I'm like thirsty and hungry for it. And at the time, I still had the energy for that.
You're honing your craft.
Okay, so you're a commercial director now.
Flash forward, you're a commercial director.
I'm so curious. What are some projects that you still have that you want to make? Like, what are some more goals now that you've reached a lot of the goals that you once had in your 20s?
Right. Yeah, for sure. It's interesting because I never really set out to be a commercial director, and it's something that's only developed in the last few years, and it's been great, and I've been really fortunate and excited about it. But in the last year, I started to get the bug and the itch of like, well, wait a minute, aren't I an artist? Aren't I a writer of my own? Like, starting to really miss making my own work and collaborating with friends and colleagues and stuff. So it's interesting that you ask, because people started to be like, well, what are you working on? What are you making? And for a while, I was like, not much. I'm just working. But recently I was like, okay, it's time. I'm ready. And I had like 12 different ideas. Some shit that I'd started already, some shit that were just nuggets of ideas. You know, I keep stuff in my phone. I'll open my phone notes and it'll say like turtle diapers. And I'm like, what was that idea?
Oh, yeah.
We were just talking about that last week.
Yeah.
And recently I was like, I keep saying this out loud, but I haven't started to realize anything. I was like, oh, yeah, I definitely want to make a feature film one day. Definitely one day I want to do a feature. But I'm like, well, bitch, you're going to be 40 soon and you haven't started. So you better start, right? But I have a couple ideas for a feature that I want to write and direct. But before,
what are they exactly?
It's turtle diapers. I just told you. But I was like, you know, before I get into that, I want to make a short again. But I want to do it differently than I did in my 20s and early 30s. I want to go back to remembering why I love this craft. And I'm not going to write it to try and get into a festival. And I'm not going to write it to try and pitch to a network. I'm literally just going to write it to try and have the most fun I've had on a set in the last 5 years. Because I've had good times on set in the last 5 years, but a lot of it's been for clients or work, and it's been stressful and given me anxiety attacks and stuff like this. So I'm currently writing a short film untitled Meta Chaos Project is what it's currently called. And I literally am like, I'm going to go off the rails with this one. It's going to be really kooky and zany, which I guess all my shit is. But like, I'm literally, the goal of this is to have the most fun possible making it with nothing else on the agenda before I go and try and actually make a feature that I want to sell, you know, maybe one day. But right now it's just about getting like what this podcast is about, like finding the motivation again, like saying, all right, I've been working for a few years. I'm really proud. It's cool. Now most of my paychecks are from directing, less so editing, which is exciting. I may still do both. But yeah, let me get back to myself a little bit, which is funny because as I'm writing, I'm literally writing the same fart jokes I was writing 15 years ago, but it's just in a more sophisticated way.
You have been in New York for a really long time, which so
almost
have
20
we,
years.
and it's a creative mecca, or so when we all moved here really felt like. How do you feel about working here now? Like as the times have changed and as time has passed, technology has passed, art has changed, or technology has changed. Like, how have you found yourself evolving and like sticking with it as it shifted so much? Which is probably, as I could say for me, shifted my dreams and what I once thought I wanted changes with that.
Oh my God. Great question, Sid. Yeah, I've been here almost 20 years. In 2003, I was 18 years old. Everything felt very new and fresh as an artist. And like the world was my little oyster, you know? Literally, I wanted to do everything and be everywhere. I didn't want to go to class. I didn't give a fuck about school. It was terrible. My grades were terrible. It was just like, I just want to be out downtown and like running around the streets and meeting people, which I was great at. The best part about the consistency of this place being a creative zone is no matter how many breaks I've taken from making shit, it's always there when I'm ready to come back. You know, I make music with my friend Ariel with a project called The Weekend Ladies. We'll just go years without making music because we're just like busy and tired. And then all of a sudden one day we're like, hey, I have this thing I've been working on. We should like, oh yeah, I have an idea for that song. And like, we'll come back. And the same thing will happen with me in terms of like writing and directing my own film stuff is I'll get burnt out. I won't feel the desire as much. And then eventually I get down on myself because I miss making stuff. And then I'm ready again. And then I look around New York City. And if I just look hard enough and I'm a little patient, there's a friend of a friend who's doing a screening once a month. And there's another friend who's doing a writing group. You know, like the best thing about New York is that there's always people doing and there's always people making. And I love that about it. I think the thing that's changed is the fucking internet. And now, you know, people who are filmmakers are being called content creators, and I hate that.
Yeah.
And on one hand, I love that filmmaking has like secretly become a hobby for kids and TikTokers, but they don't call it that.
Right.
I'm like, all y'all are doing like heavy video editing and performing and directing without calling it that. You're not content creators if you are good at it. You're a filmmaker.
Yeah.
But I think it sucks now to have to like be put in the same pool as people who are just TikTokers and making dance videos and whatever, you know.
Staying the course, I feel like you are a poster child for staying the course.
Stay the course.
And I think that I'm glad to hear that you have new creative goals that you're looking to jump into and that you already have jumped into. I know for a fact that you will come back to music periodically, which is always fun. Check out The Weekend Ladies on Spotify. That's her group with Ariel.
That's right.
But yeah, like I think you are proof that if you keep kind of working at it, and you got to work, you can't just like you can't just be here waiting. You got to work. That there will be these developments that, and like we've said on the show a lot, there's no destination, but like it's nice to see your path continuing to have like fun rungs on the ladder.
And something that I've been thinking about so much this week and so much doing this podcast, which you are absolutely proof of, is it's not enough to have an idea. You have to execute it. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's so much knowledge out there now and there's so many resources, and it's not enough to know. You really have to be doing it and allowing yourself to fail, so to speak, quote unquote, and just fall and get back up and have fun and keep that sense of inner child and play and goofiness and silliness. And it really is, it weeds out the people that don't have the love of the game.
Yeah.
Like you are such living proof just being around you, and you're so creative. You're like, oh yeah, like this is a creative person, which is just so refreshing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Smart to
so smart.
Also have and take the time to you realize you want to make some money. You want to do like the job thing for a while, and so like it's somebody who's having trouble finding a way to give the time to their creative, the creative that they feel that they need when they also need to make money? Is there like, have you found yourself in that place where you're really having to balance the two?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think like, especially when I was younger and I needed to have more traditional day jobs. I was like, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or I just didn't have the free time or the money to even do like $100 project or whatever. The things I did at the time were sign up for improv classes, sketch writing classes, become a part of Video Maths, which was just our friends getting together, because I needed a structure and I needed accountability. And I still do, to a very large degree. Like, I needed other people to hold myself accountable to, or I needed to take that $400 that I didn't even have to pay for the sketch writing class so that I would just show up and write a sketch that week, So like any type of accountability, I think, has been really helpful.
We ran right over this earlier, but she said her favorite film one of her favorite films she's ever made is about a butt monster.
The shitting!
And we just walked right past
We gotta
that.
talk about the shitting. Yeah.
If anything,
It's so good.
if anything,
This is the best film I've ever made. It
is.
literally
It's so
is.
good.
So amazing.
Yeah, I mean, to our loyal listeners, the shitting is about a possessed butt monster who terrorizes a newlywed couple when they move into their new home in the woods.
can we put a link in the show notes for the listeners?
Please do.
We're gonna put a link in the show notes for
Not
the
suitable
listeners.
for work, but
Yeah, NSFW.
if you
and
go to work anymore.
don't show it to kids, probably.
Definitely do not let it.
But that was
child
an
see this.
example of like,
So
yeah.
Our producer Sid is telling us this, we got to move
We
on.
gotta go.
no, it's true. It's true. We started getting to the end here. So I was gonna just say, on the internet, if you want people to find you,
Yes.
where can they find you?
www.tessagreenberg.com. And that's BERG.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, my Instagram is just a fucking hullabaloo of like pictures of trash, things I directed, funny memes. Like, sometimes I post stuff I make. It's at Tessa_GEE.
We have one little piece of show that we do at the end of every show, and it's called Fake Pitches. We're going to ask Mike Bot, who's a chat bot that we've been training to talk like
To
Mike.
replace Mike.
We're going to ask Mike Bot to give us 2 random words, and this week we are getting the title of the pitch.
Okay.
It's different pitches for different bitches. So the way Fake Pitches works, we're going to get 2-word prompt. Everybody pitches something. This week, that 2-word prompt is the title of the thing. Now, the thing could be a movie, it could be a TV show, it could be
A book.
A
a
book.
book, it could be
A game.
a toy, it could anything you can pitch,
Tamagotchi.
anything that can be called something that is 2 words. We got a prompt from the Mike Bot. Oh, by the way, the reason we didn't do the wheel of pitches is that our producer Sasha is refusing to do the wheel of pitches anymore because he told us he had to write the words on the wheel.
Yeah.
And so he said, in solidarity with, thank you for that, Sasha. We really appreciate that. And thank you for everything you do. Guys, Sasha, everyone,
Sasha!
round of applause for Sasha. If you're in your car driving, please keep both hands on the wheel. But if you're not, then clap for Sasha in your home. All right. The 2-word prompt from the Mike Bot is slippery ocean. Slippery ocean. And as always, our guest gets 1 get out of pitching card that you can play at any time to get out of pitching during the episode. You can play the card at any time. You only get 1. 30 seconds are on the clock. Whoever wants to pitch first, take it away. Slippery Ocean is the title of whatever you're pitching.
Slippery Ocean is the new water park from Disney Plus. The water park where they use olive oil for all the slides. Oh yeah, those slides are super fast. You're going down that slide so fast because it's olive oil. And then you can dip your bread in it. So every ticket comes with 1 baguette. You take that baguette up to the top of the slide down that slide, and in the bottom there will be some balsamic vinegar. You dip that breadstick in that vinegar and you got yourself a baguette. Slippery Ocean from the new Disney water
I
park.
like that.
Oh man, it's Disney. That's Disney.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's just a bread themed water park.
And
Bread theme.
that's amazing.
Dip it wherever you want.
Yeah, no, everything. Everything's like shaped like a different kind of bread. You go down. The rafts are all like loaves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's also everything there was made from the same starter,
Oh.
and it was all pandemic.
Is there charcuterie?
It was a pandemic starter that was started in Bushwick
Oh,
during the pandemic.
Oh yes, they're doing the bread bowl ride too, right?
Yeah.
Where it's,
I feel like the
Exactly.
kids get
Spinning.
Lunchables and the parents get charcuterie. You know, there's like different corners. I like it.
Yeah,
and it's called Slippery Ocean,
yeah.
which is, it really invokes bread. Like,
Hey man, it's because of the movie.
oh, right.
Yeah, it's a
Slippery. Right.
the Disney
Which-
movie.
that's-
It's a theme park for that.
That's true. I
Disney-
forgot.
that Disney
We're
movie.
doing these pitches in a non-linear way. So the movie is what I'm supposed to pitch is the Disney movie.
I
Slippery
mean, I didn't
Ocean.
say that.
So
Oh,
I have a pitch.
yeah. Go for it. Yes.
Okay. You ever go to the dentist and when you were a kid and you're sitting there and they're doing a fluoride treatment and they say, you got a choice for games. It's the Woolly Willy with the magnets where you can put magnet mustache on a bald face, or it's this little thing with water and buttons and you hit the buttons and there's a little ball that goes through a hoop and it's a toy that you can't describe, but you now have a name for. It's called Slippery Ocean. Only at your local dentist in 1986. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine has little triangles in it, and they spin around in circles.
Yeah.
Slippery Ocean's my favorite game.
Especially when I have Novocaine in my
Yeah.
mouth and I can't take a sip of water or eat for 2 hours after. Slippery Ocean is my friend when I have to get cavities, fluoride treatment, root canals, caps, chipped teeth. When I once ran into a parked car and I got the same chip as Dumb and Dumber with John Kerry, the famous actor John Kerry.
John
Kerry is my favorite actor.
Yeah.
Slippery Ocean is the best game at the dentist.
Green light.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, 100%.
It's a vintage. It's a vintage product.
Go ahead.
I'm
It's a
pitching
vintage
now?
product.
I was just talking about hers.
Oh, I thought you were saying yours. I thought you were
okay.
getting very subtly into yours.
Are you ready, Carl? I'm not.
Shit. Oh,
All right.
I thought you went. Are you ready for this?
That's what I thought you were saying.
okay.
Are
too.
you ready?
Slippery Ocean is an NFT made by MikeBot, and it is that famous scene when Jesus was walking on the water, except that he slips, and the NFT is actually him slipping on the water in midair, and he's levitating above the water. And some think, oh my God, like, look at him floating above the water. But we all know just because the ocean was slippery and he
Yeah.
slipped.
That's funny.
It's like almost slippery. Oh shit, son.
Yes.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
son.
like oh shit, son. Jesus just
Oh
fell.
shit, son.
And like,
Shit,
like,
son.
like all the apostles are on the coast. They're like, oh shit, son. Did you see him
No,
fall?
that was actually what God said. Oh shit, son.
Yeah, you okay?
And that's how.
And that was
The water
God.
iced over
The
in
finger-
the winter.
the finger
Famous
pointing
helicopter
thing.
exactly.
dad.
And that is, anyway, they couldn't name the NFT, oh shit, son. So they named it Slippery Ocean.
Ocean.
And,
Ocean.
or they, MikeBot. And it's for sale.
Great.
I'd buy it.
MikeBot's pronouns are they them, just so everybody knows.
Are
Yeah.
NFTs still a thing? Do people care? They cared a lot like 8 months ago. But
Are they
do
still
people
a thing? Yes.
Oh.
They're
Does
still a
anybody give a
thing.
shit?
It's a small
No.
community, and there are people who invested in them that are like hoping that it comes back in some way. But
Yeah.
there's some weird shit.
I bought lots of them.
Did you?
MikeBot did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Bought
bought
it?
a lot of NFTs.
All right, Carl.
I got one called Slippery Ocean.
Sick.
Image of Jesus. Oh, I can't really
Oh,
talk
shit.
about
Oh,
son.
yeah.
Okay.
It's
Well,
under
it's
wraps. You signed an NDA on an NFT.
We don't do NDAs here at Comedy Filmmakers Motivation Monday.
We violate our NDAs as soon as we can.
Absolutely.
Slippery Ocean is a Disney Pixar film In the grand tradition of Finding Nemo and Toy Story and A Bug's Life comes Slippery Ocean.
Is A Bug's Life Pixar? I was thinking of Ants.
Yeah, no, Ants isn't. Ants definitely
Ants
isn't.
is definitely
They
not.
came out around the same time.
Ants is like, in my opinion, and this is controversial because I feel like
It was the B cast. Okay.
the lead of Ants is Woody Allen. It's the better movie out of the two.
Oh shit!
Ants?
Yeah.
I remember it being like grittier.
A little grittier.
Yeah.
The bugs were a little
We're
uglier.
getting out of the pitch. We got to get back to the pitch.
Sorry.
In the grand tradition of Finding Nemo and A Bug's Life comes Slippery Ocean from Disney Pixar. It's the story of a young yeast molecule making its way in the starter in Bushwick, Brooklyn. The slipperiest ocean of all is a wet starter, and a young yeast molecule named Butch Mahoney knows that better than anyone else, because young Butch, he's here and he's found himself a good old glob of flour, and he wants to eat that flour. And so what happens in this film is that Butch Mahoney, he eats flour, and eventually he craps that flour out, creating a gas, and that gas, little does he know it, is filling the cavities of a giant loaf of bread.
Wow.
But it's not a loaf of bread until it gets cooked. And that's when this slippery ocean comes in. Surfs up because Butch Mahoney's cool surfing dad Dillicus is returning from the very bottom of the starter. He's been there from the start. From the starter, from the start, straight out of the starter.
Hello, son.
Exactly. The return of Dillicus is one of the best parts of the movie, and Dillicus tells Butch Mahoney, keep eating that flour. And the funniest part of the whole movie, I'm not going to tell you because you'll have to go see it and laugh so hard. But anyway, the bread gets cooked, and what happens is that the bread actually becomes a life raft in the ocean, and Butch Mahoney's soul enters a seagull, which lands on the life raft and eats the bread.
Seagulls love bread.
The bread made from his father.
Wow.
And so
It's like Jesus again.
This is once. So essentially, what happens is that we're doing a metaphor.
I also never know stories about Jesus because
Yeasty C.
I'm always like Yeasty C.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've heard about the fishes and the loaves, right?
Jesus Christ. That's what they call
I think a
them.
good podcast would be to ask me to explain Bible stories because I didn't grow up with the Bible as a young Jewish lass.
Guys, tune in next week. We're no longer doing Comedy Filmmakers Motivation Monday, the podcast. We'll be doing the Bible check-in with Tessa.
Yeah.
Ask a Jew.
New Testament Tessa.
Hebrew
New
Testament.
expert Tessa.
I literally
Greenberg.
trying to explain the story of Christmas to me is the funniest thing in the world.
There's a tree.
And
8
it
days?
was famous for its presence.
And
And the star, the father, Dillicus, I'm sorry.
Go back.
The father, Dillicus, is voiced by John Kerry. We got it.
We got him?
Yeah, we got him.
Oh.
Politician John
no,
Kerry?
famous actor known for Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. The Mask.
And
John Kerry.
he'll be here.
Pace Ventura.
Yeah. The Mask
and
spelled with a
Dumber.
C.
Wait a minute. Can we get politician John Kerry?
I'm looking it up right now, and believe it or not, it's actually the same guy. I'm looking at his IMDb.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this.
Oh,
So
I didn't
the
realize
guy
that
John
either.
Kerry, who lost to George W. Bush in 2004.
First person I voted for.
Yeah. Apparently, he was also the star of Dumb and Dumber and The Mask and Pace Ventura. And
Pace
he's going to
Ventura.
be in our
Pace
next film, Slippery Ocean, coming from Disney Pixar.
green
Amazing.
light, green light,
Green
green
light,
light,
green
green
light.
light.
We got
light.
4 green lights on the fake pitches.
Love it.
Man,
Dude,
that's crazy.
I love it.
we're like 48 for 48.
We're so lucky. We're a star. We cry for our lonely heart.
All right. I have to wrap this up for me and everyone listening and involved.
You heard it here first, folks. If you want to,
Go ahead, Sid, wrap it up.
yeah, go ahead. Where can they find us?
SlipperyOcean.com
We're
/ Sid and Mike /
You're the one that wanted to wrap this up.
baguette
look.
/ Dickorous.
if by
Dillicus.
some strange some strange turn of events, you like what you're hearing or seeing here, you can find more of it at Sid and Mike on YouTube or Instagram, or you can go to their website, our website, www.sidandmike.
There it is, Carl.
Sid and Mike is not the
You
name
are
of
Sid
two
and
people.
Mike.
Sid and Mike is the name of a sketch comedy.
You're the ampersand.
We're yeah.
If you're not watching on YouTube, I'm holding up my hands in the shape of an ampersand.
Oh, if you're not watching on YouTube, do it, man. Do it.
Just
Get
do
on
it.
YouTube.
Do it.
Tessa, will you
heard
come
it.
back?
I would love to come back. Yes, please. Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
It was
I
fun.
feel
It was
very
great.
motivated.
You're funny.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I really had a lot of fun. I like hearing myself talk. I like hearing you guys talk.
That's why we made a podcast.
Yep.
That's why we
We
made
did
a
it just
podcast.
for
If
that.
anyone has any questions,
We don't
email
need to
me.
use these headphones, but we do because we love it.
No, this is great. Everybody stay motivated, stay the course. Stay the course. You got this. You fucking got this. And if you don't take a break, that's going to help. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is take a break.
Eat a fucking orange.
Eat an orange. Eat a cheese doodle. Eat a Thin Mint.
Drink a glass of water.
Drink a fucking glass of water.
You
That's
know what?
my favorite piece of
mouthwash. Use some mouthwash. Wakes you
Yes.
up.
This is completely
Swish that
unhinged and out of
mouthwash
control
around.
at this point.
Go down to Chubby Chicken. Get you some of that nasty special sauce, okay?
Thank you.
Comedy Filmmakers Motivation Monday, the podcast, is a production of Dark Matter Entertainment and Phantom Strain Pictures.
Our producer is Sasha Nonas Barnes. Our theme song is by Joseph Colmenero.
You can find us online on YouTube or Instagram at Sid and Mike, or email us at sidandmikenyc@gmail.com.